Hey YouTube, Southern Gardener. Thought I'd give y'all a little video on how to grow watermelons. Now I grow a lot of watermelon. This is 3 hills of watermelons. I got the first 2 over here at Crimson Sweet. So both these hills right here are Crimson Sweet. Hard to tell what's what. But I only got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 plants in each row. So 3, 6. That's 6 plants right there. It takes up all this space. So be warned, it will take up all your space. But you can't beat a fresh watermelon from the garden. I mean, you just can't beat it. Now on top of that, I know people will maybe shun me on this one. I don't care, because mine does just fine. I won first place last year in the fair, so kiss my butt. But I have Carolina Cross here. I got 2 plants, and this is how you grow a massive watermelon. Watermelon in general, but we're going for world-class, fair-winning, blue ribbon-winning type watermelon. This thing was hand-pollinated maybe a week or so ago. That's huge. That's every bit of 6-7 inches. What you want to do when you plant your watermelon, which I start in the house about 4 to 6 weeks before I plant, you want to start it in the house, get that all going. Then you want to put you some hills. When you come in here, you till up your garden, you want to rake up some hills with your steel rake, maybe 6 inches tall, about 12 to 15 inches wide, and kind of flat on top. Then I come through, I got just garden fabric. I'd really like to have that plastic stuff. But garden fabric does all right. Weeds don't really come through very much. You just want to keep everything clean. You don't want dirt getting all over your leaves. That's a big problem. And it kind of holds in moisture. Of course, I put in cow manure and all that fun stuff. And but what I do is I plant some from in the house. And then I'll also come back and I'll put in some seeds. That way not everything comes up at the exact same time. And what you do is you put down you got your compost. When everything starts to grow, you get some good true leaves on there. Maybe let it go ahead and get a little bit bigger. You put your 10-10-10 fertilizer down, or whatever you got, 5-5-5, doesn't matter. Just some general good feeding, slow release fertilizer, organic, whatever you want to do. I'm not eating this watermelon in the first place, so it doesn't matter to me. I just want it to be big. So put your 10-10-10 down, and then you let it grow. Now, once the watermelon gets going, you got that 10-10-10 in there. Just like I was saying about tomatoes on a different video, I don't want this thing to be all leaves. I want watermelon. I'm not here to grow leaves. You can't enter leaves in a fair, and you can't eat leaves. Well, I guess you could eat some leaves. I don't know. I'm not eating these leaves. But what you want to do is come back in after you get some flowers on your watermelon. You want to come back in there and do kind of like I said on the tomato video, if you saw that, is you want to do more PK, potassium and phosphorus. That's what I'm worried about. I want to promote bloom, and I want to promote root development. I want to promote all the other things besides leaves. I mean, you can be a little bit of nitrogen, that's fine. It's kind of hard to find. If you do like Miracle Grow, I've done Miracle Grow, and I do Miracle Grow on a lot of things. Miracle Grow usually runs like, I think it's like 5, 8, or 5 something. It's more nitrogen than you need. It's more nitrogen than the rest. And what you really want is, like I said, the more the P and the K. So I was saying earlier on the tomato video, again, I use this Tiger Bloom. And that Tiger Bloom puts on, it's a lot more, it's more like 2, 8, and 7 or something like that. It's way more P and K. But one of the main things you want to do when you're growing your watermelon, especially if you're growing them close together like this, I wanted that one big watermelon. And I don't want it to cross with my small watermelons. So what you got to do is you got to find your flowers. And I did a video on this, but I want to specifically do watermelon again. You want to find your flower. So here's a male flower. You can tell this is a male flower because there's no fruit on the end of that. That's a straight line right there, okay? So I'm gonna pick this off. This is on my Crimson Sweet, so I'll make sure I don't cross this with my Carolina Cross. But this is just for example. And I gotta find me a female flower. So I'm gonna pollinate my Carolina Cross with another Carolina, a male flower with a female flower, Carolina Cross. If I cross, or the bees cross, want my Carolina Cross with my Crimson Sweet, I'm going to end up with a smaller Carolina Cross Crimson Sweet hybrid of some sort. So what you got to do, there's a million flowers out here. I'm going to show you male on male. I am not promoting this, but I can't find another female flower. All you got to do, pull these little flower petals back, expose that middle piece, and the female flower kind of looks like this male flower, by the way. So but you'll find the female flower by fruit on the end of it. Here's a very early one. There's no flower on it, but there is a little baby watermelon. So eventually, maybe tomorrow or the next day, that will have a flower on the end of it. That'll open up, and I'll pollinate that, just like that. But the way you do it is real simple. You just come in here, take your male flower to your female flower, and you just rub it right on each other. You can do a brush or whatever you want to do, but I just rub that on that. Male on female, not male on male, as much as y'all like to think that. Male on female is the only way you can produce babies, just so you know. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get your fruit. So you want to, when you pollinate, like if you're going for a big watermelon, when you pollinate it, you want to cover that up with a cup or something. And about 3-4 days, that flower it'll be pollinated, and the flower will just kind of fall off the bottom of the fruit, and you won't have to worry about anything else fertilizing it, or pollinating it, sorry. And so there you go. You got your watermelon growing, and then from there you just make sure you keep it well watered once a week. When it starts getting bigger, I'll probably water even a little bit more. Now with watermelon, you can overwater watermelon and it will crack and all kinds of stuff. But when you're talking about a big, humongous 200-pound watermelon, you have to put some water in it. You can't, that's not an inch per week kind of thing. When you're talking about a 200-pound watermelon is made mostly of water, you have to really water it and fertilize. You got to feed the heck out of it. But that's pretty much it on watermelons. Super easy. The bees will do most of the work, but if you're not seeing a whole lot of bees, come in there, you pollinate it yourself, and you'll have a lot of watermelon. One last tip with the giant watermelon: you can let 2 or 3 watermelons grow, but once one starts taking off bigger than the rest and it's healthy and doesn't look like it's going to rot or anything on the end, like no blossom end rot or something like that, then you want to come in there, pick off all the small watermelons. You want to leave 1 watermelon per plant. So I got 2 plants of the big ones, so I can have a county and a state fair entry. And that's really it. It's super simple. And just fertilize it, take care of it, experiment, and see what does the best. Now, as far as my champion watermelons, I'm gonna probably put fungicides and pesticides and all kinds of stuff on it, but I'm gonna make sure I try not to get it on my eating watermelons. I'm not gonna eat these. These are gonna be so overripe by the time the fair's over, it's not worth even messing with. So I will be spraying these. Most things I really don't spray anything. So, but let me know if you have any questions, and that's it. Y'all have a good one.